Here with Kenny Gates here at the Fonda Car Show for 2021. Kenny, at least we're here, right?
A lot better than last year. I'm glad we're here a little bit back to a sense of normalcy. You know, it's good to be here.
Taking a look at the 2020 season, taking a look at the record book, I didn't see your name in Victory Lane. Now, at Fonda Speedway, that's probably the craziest thing that happened during the pandemic.
Well, Nick was tough to beat. He really dominated the class last year. I think he won all the races but two. We got close. We finished second to him a number of times. We were much better in the second half. We really had to step up the program, really do our homework to try to get back to compete with him. And hopefully, we can give him a run this year and maybe pick up a couple of wins. Obviously, that's the goal.
You've been racing since 1993. Take a look at the history book at Fonda Speedway. You by far have the most wins with over 80 career wins. Do you ever stop and take a look at that and think about that, or is that something you're going to do once you're done?
You know, now that we probably have got more races behind us than we've got in front of us, I've looked back a little bit and, it makes me smile. I'm glad that we've been able to get all those wins and some championships and stuff. I always dreamed about someday just winning a feature at Fonda, and it took a while. And then we, really did well, and it's an honor to be, just have some wins at Fonda and do good there. I still love it. I still enjoy it. I still love competing down there. So when we get all done, it'll be good to look back, I think, and enjoy it. But I am looking back more now than I used to. I used to never think about that stuff, didn't want to know about that stuff. But now that I'm getting older, I do look back, and it's pretty neat.
Take 2020 out of the equation with Nicky dominating with 7 wins. Usually week in and week out, the Pro Stock class is the most competitive class at any track you go to. Why do you think that is?
Well, this class of car just lends themselves to good side-by-side racing. The crate motors, the harder tires, and have just lent itself to good side-by-side close racing action. And Fonda is a momentum track, so you usually get pretty clean racing, where you can carry your speed through the corners, so you can't just dump the guy in front of you, just run up behind him and boink him out of the way like you can some of the shorter tracks. And that seems to just lend itself to good. Exciting, action-filled racing that where you don't get a lot of wrecks and usually puts on a really good show.
What will it mean to you this year? It seems like we're going to be able to have some spectators in the stands. What will that mean to you when you roll out on the track and see people in the grandstands this season?
That's huge. And it's not so much when you go right out or when you're racing, because at least with me, I'm very focused on just, the competition and the race. But when you get done and you get out of the car and there's nobody there, it's weird. It's very strange. And it'll be really good to hear fans cheering and rooting you on and stuff like that when you get out of the car. Back to having meet and greets and stuff like that. It's fun to interact with the fans. I always hang around after the races and wait for people to come over and talk about the night's events, and they talk about what happened there and stuff like that. And without that interaction, it's just not as much fun. So I can't wait for the fans to be able to get back to the track.